Spice Dragon Red Chai, and Yorkshire Gold. That's what we'll be tasting on Tea Tasting Tuesday today. Each week on Tea Tasting Tuesday, I'll be trying one Camellia sinensis kind of tea, such as black or white, and one herbal tea. So a little bit about Yorkshire Gold. I don't know that much. I just know that it is considered a builder's tea, which is kind of the working class kind of tea, the kind that you'd have on a coffee break or a tea break over in England. It's quite a bit stronger than your average tea. Florence Pugh really likes this one. She had a video on it. It's one of my favorites. These do happen to be teas that I have actually tasted, but we're going to be doing them both today. This one is the Spice Dragon Red Chai. It is a rooibos tea. It is a leaf, but it's herbal. So it's not Camellia sinensis. It's a leaf that you brew, and some people call it red tea. But if you ever hear of a red tea, generally, I think they're talking about rooibos, and that means it would be caffeine-free and herbal. I'm going to go get some boiling water and we'll get started. I'm back. I have my water and my teapots. I'm going to start with the Yorkshire Gold. This is a pretty fancy tin, isn't it? I got this at World Market. So Yorkshire Gold comes in a box like this, or half the size, and then it's kind of like that. It doesn't come individually wrapped. We're just going to do one for this. Yikes. I don't want to have a wardrobe malfunction. That wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be fun for me. I don't know. Maybe it would be fun for somebody else. In goes the tea. If we were doing this properly, I probably would have had this warming up with hot water in it, and then I would dump the hot water, but I'm all the way over here next to my desk, not near a sink. So in that goes, we'll do it halfway up the pot, like so. And then we'll set that to brew. That we've got like 2 minutes on that one. And just so you know, the smell, it smells like tea. I know I did this tea the last time with the Earl Grey, like, oh, it smells like Earl Grey. Great. It smells like the perfect blend of tea. It's a great blend. It says 4 to 5 minutes. I find 4 to 5 minutes it takes it way over into bitter. But the thing is with a builder's tea is I think of a builder's tea as something that you want to add milk and sugar and honey to. So I say let it be bitter depending on your tolerance for sugar. So I'm just going to use my spoon to kind of fish it out. And I brought a little bowl. Slop bowl is what they're called. Traditionally, that's a romantic name, isn't it? All the dregs, old tea bags, whatever you need, little strings, tags, whatever, they can all go in this little bowl. That way you don't just have a mess of garbage on your tea spread if you're having a little party. Next, Spice Dragon Red Chai. I'm gonna open that. This smells really nice. It has a really pleasant smell. It's a different kind of cinnamon than, let's say, a Bengal spice. If you're familiar with that herbal tea, it's by Celestial Seasonings. And I find it has a great mix of masala chai spices, and it's pretty nice. But this one, the cinnamon is a little bit different, and then you can smell the rooibos in there as well. And it also smells like there's some pepper. No, it doesn't have pepper. A cinnamon, rooibos, ginger, and clove. All right, good enough for me. So we'll put it in there. And we will start our boiling water over here, and then we'll let that steep as well. Okay. This we can let go a little longer because, like I said, with an herbal tea, you can sort of set it and forget it. You don't want it to go too long. Obviously, you don't want it to go so long that it then turns cold, because that's not as pleasant unless you're making an iced tea. But with the black tea, you want to really be careful and time it just right. First, I'm going to try the Yorkshire Gold. Now, like I said, this is one that people normally sweeten. Well, I would think, I don't know. Put in the comments below if you are a Yorkshire Gold fan and tell me what you do with it. Do you sweeten it? Do you add milk, or do you just have it plain or with lemon? Let me know in the comments. It has that British blend tea smell. It kind of smells like hot brown water. That's a Ted Lasso reference. I hope you're all watching that. It's the best show ever. So it's very earthy. It's very robust. It is astringent, but I got it out of there before it got too bitter and astringent. So green tea can taste very astringent very quickly. It has kind of that. It's like as soon as it coats your throat, your throat dries up. I think I need to take a tea tasting course. It's a very British tasting tea. It tastes like going to have cream tea at the tea house right across the street from Jane Austen's house. But I happen to know that they serve Thai Fu tea there. Thai Fu is also a builder's tea. My favorite is Yorkshire Gold. Now we're going to taste the dragon red chai. It's been sitting in there a long time, but I have every confidence that it's going to still taste great. Move this over here. It has a great color. The interesting thing is it looks like it's Yorkshire Gold that's on the rim of this. Kind of nice. They have the same lovely color. So now I'm going to pour this in here. I think these are my favorite 2 teacups, actually. All right. It smells obviously very cinnamony. It has a nice balance. You can taste the rooibos, but the rooibos isn't too overpowering. Rooibos has an interesting flavor, and it's similar to a black tea, but it's not. Once again, hard to describe, but it's a pleasant taste. And then you can taste the clove and the ginger. Now what I'm going to do, both of these can handle milk. Rather than just taste them as is, I'm going to add milk a little bit to that one and to that one, about the same amount. With the Yorkshire Gold, you're going to have to take my word for it until I have a cameraman or woman. When I used to live in Utah, I had 2 great producers. So thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Micah, for being my amazing producers when I was down there. Now I'm going to taste this with just the milk. It sort of tempers the tea and it rounds it out a little bit. So any bitterness that may have lingered because you put the tea bag in a little too long, that's mostly gone once you add the milk. It tastes mellow and soothing. It's great with, I can see why Paul Hollywood is always, he'll taste something and he'll be like, oh, I'd love that with a cup of tea. I think this would be the kind of tea that he's talking about. I don't know that he added sugar. I think that's the point of having tea with sweets, is that you have the tea that tastes kind of bitter and almost savory, and then you serve it with the sweet thing, and then it kind of balances it out. All right, now I'm going to try this Spice Dragon Red Chai. There are plenty of you who are clever enough to know that chai means tea. So when you say you want a chai tea, it's like you're saying you want a tea. Their masala chai is what we Americans think of as chai. So this is kind of trying to approximate a masala chai, and it's pretty good on its own. But there is something magical that happens when you put the 2 together. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. It's really not hard. But here's how I do the blend on a normal night when I haven't just brewed 2 pots of tea. So I take my mug. These are these super cool mugs that you can get from Tea Forte. I'll put a link below. They have this cool strainer, which I'm not going to use because this is bagged tea. So what I do is I take one of these, put that in, and then I take my red. I could put the red in first, but I'll show you. This is my nightly ritual when I feel like having tea at night. So I have both of them in here, and I'm just going to add boiling water. I like quite a bit of milk, so I leave a little bit of space at the top. And then I let this go for 2 minutes while I wait for the black tea to be done. If you'd like to enter our little giveaway, then all you have to do is write down which tea you'd like to try down at the bottom, and I will choose a couple of random winners from the comments below. And then I'll mail you either some of this Spice Dragon Red Chai or some of the Yorkshire Gold. It's up to you. This won't be individually wrapped though, so I don't know. Do you trust me? Might be weird. I'll put it in a plastic baggie. We'll see. Either way, I'll send you one of these. And I will put links below to where you can find these. It's been almost 2 minutes. What I love about these cups from Tea Forte is that they're double walled, so they don't burn your hand and they stay hot a lot longer. Plus, you know, you can put the lid on. They're pretty great. So I take the black tea out, or the Yorkshire Gold out, and then this one stays in. Anyway, I let that go for just a little bit longer. And I think I'm one of the people that can drink tea, but it doesn't make me wide awake. I think it's more calming. Not sure if that's true or not. You know, people say, oh, if you drink caffeine before bed, you think you're getting a good night's sleep, but maybe you aren't. Who knows? Either way, it makes me feel all snuggly to have it right before bed, especially when I add the milk. The other thing is when I make this sort of masala chai mix, look, it's nothing like the masala chai that's in India, which I still have not tried, which I would love to try one day. But as of yet, I have not traveled to India. That being said, for a cheating method to make your own masala chai, this is a great way to do it. I think I'm about done with that. I know a lot of people prefer sugar in their tea. I like honey. I just do. And look at this gorgeous stuff. Hope I don't have man hands. My raw honey with the honeycomb in it. You can see all the little globs of beeswax that have all coagulated at the top. Should we taste it? That's what I'm talking about. That's so good. I think I added a little more honey than normal, and it's great. It's like a dessert. So there you have it. My favorite builder's tea, along with one of my favorite spice mixed herbal teas. You put them together and you get a fantastic cheats version of a masala chai, and you get to have a lovely evening with it. So that is my Yorkshire Gold and my Spice Dragon Red Chai. Thanks so much for watching today, and have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.